Well, more than a year after the beating death of Tyre Nichols, Memphians are coming forward with stories about the Memphis PD's now disbanded Scorpion unit. All 5 former cops charged with Nichols' death were members of that unit, formed under interim police chief C.J. Davis. 4 of the 5 are about to be tried in state and federal court. Tonight, ABC 24's Zaria Oates investigates other stories Memphians have to share about their experiences with the Scorpion unit.
We've been digging through hundreds of police reports tied to the now disbanded Scorpion unit for months. The Scorpion acronym stood for Street Crimes Operation to Restore Peace in Our Neighborhoods. Several of the people listed in these reports share stories they say are far from restoring peace.
So I'm moving back. He like, don't move, mother, before I hit you in the back of the head, and pushing me.
Larico Coleman says this was the harsh reality of a 2022 traffic stop by the Memphis Police Department's now deactivated Scorpion unit. Former mayor of Memphis, Jim Strickland, appointed C.J. Davis as the city's first female chief of police back in April of 2021. Just months after her appointment, MPD launched the Scorpion unit. The organized crime unit operated for a little over a year until it was disbanded following the brutal beating death of Tyre Nichols. These 5 former MPD officers and ex-Scorpion unit members are now heading to trial in both state and federal court. Larico Coleman is just one of more than 900 people listed as a suspect in MPD reports involving at least one member of the former organized crime unit. Coleman says he was wrongfully detained, threatened, and jailed. He's one of few people who would talk about his Scorpion unit encounter, the only one so far willing to be on camera. Others I reached out to listed in reports, all saying they're worried about officers retaliating against them, but say they had similar Scorpion unit experiences.
I was talking polite. It just was crazy to me because I don't know how it changed from us just talking to me. I mean, like fully yank, slam. It had me there for a while. Of course, my face and everything was busted up.
I said, why are y'all taking my gun? Like, what's the reason? Y'all have no right to take the gun. This is my gun. I own it. I bought this gun. Y'all like carry gun.
Each of these people are listed as suspects in 2022 police reports. However, the Memphians we spoke with say they're victims of an abuse of power. All of them say their charges have been lowered or dropped altogether.
Ganged up on the car all the way around it and just pulled me out and opened the doors up, slammed me up against the car, and I swear to God, it was bad.
When he got out the car, he told me, man, don't you stick your hand up that car, blow your. He said something like, he'll blow my head or something else like that.
You don't treat another human being like that or talk to a person crazy and you don't even know them.
The officer-written narrative of this stop says members of Scorpion Unit Number 2 were checking the area of National at Bayless for criminal activity just before pulling Coleman over. Coleman knew the reason was his lack of a Tennessee license plate because of his job selling and transporting cars.
I got all my paperwork. I've been pulled over before.
The report also says officers found a plastic container with marijuana inside Coleman's front pants pocket. He denies this claim. However, the officer-written report does not describe any use of force during the altercation. That's consistent with hundreds of other reports in this open records request, not mentioning any physical altercation. Claims against MPD officers' use of force inevitably brought the federal government to tail. The Department of Justice is holding public meetings in Memphis as they take on a pattern or practice investigation into the city of Memphis and the Memphis Police Department.
There have been a number of allegations suggesting that the Memphis Police Department's systems of training, supervision, and accountability may not adequately prevent officers from engaging in conduct that violates the Constitution and federal law.
The DOJ is trying to see if there's a departmental history of excessive force. Each meeting, several people attend and share their stories.
I'm like, hey, he's hurting me. I'm like, you're hurting me, you're hurting me.
This is only a small fraction of people stopped by the Scorpion unit. In January 2022, during former Mayor Jim Strickland's State of the City speech, he emphasized the Scorpion unit's impact on the city.
We must change.
The high numbers in a short period of time were enough for bragging rights and to show Memphians the safety impact this organized crime unit was having on the city. That all changed when night of January 7th, 2023. When Tyre Nichols was beaten nearly unrecognizable, Nichols died from his injuries just 3 days later. The DOJ will continue meeting with Memphians who say they had issues with the department using excessive force. Memphis City Council is still in flux over whether they will approve reappointing Interim Chief CJ Davis as Chief of Police. Interim Chief Davis declined all interview requests for this story.
And it should be way better than it, because we are citizens of the community. We abide by the law.
These are just a few people's stories out of hundreds of police reports. If you have a similar story and are ready to sit down with the Department of Justice, you can contact them at the email on your screen. That's community.memphis@usdoj.gov. I'm Zaria Oates.